Hey everyone, it's time for Geocache Talk. Whether you're at work, in the car, wherever you are, we hope you enjoy the show. Please give it a like and subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, Pocket Cast, TuneIn Radio, or Google Play. You get all the weekly Geocache Talk goodness. Big thanks to the Travel Bugs for the music and our patrons, Demon Hunter 2, Aggie Jedi Master, Electric Water Boy, Joshua, the geocaching vlogger, Cashley, One Kind Word, Ravenclaw Tia, Shermanator 18, Butterfly Girl, Loon Trackers, the Aussie Geocacher, the Geo Gearheads, Sodak Zach, the Deadliest Cachers, Terrell 2, Neil Moore, Molly the Geocaching Dog, Team D&D, Geocaching Adam, Peachy 1276, the No Code Geocachers, Curiosity Girl, Tick Magnet, Marsipanic, Bricker John, Fire Safe, Doc Firewoman, FS Sabero, Geo Rick, Cache Addict Mel, Geocaching Janji, Geocaching Junkie, Sir Drumalot, Genice, Tricasius, Tom Frey, and Rugels. If you'd like to become a patron, head on over to patreon.com/geocache talk for more details. Patrons get path tags, coins, and other geocaching swag during the year, as well as invites to special events only for patrons. Support levels start at as little as $3 a month. Well, let me start by welcoming my co-host, Sydney.
Hello, everyone.
And Jesse.
Good evening, everybody.
Let's jump right into show number 70 for October 8th. So we talk about the new virtual geocaches. But first, some news. Well, this was International Earth Cache Weekend. I'm glad it was a weekend. That's nice for people. I'm glad that I think Land Monkey was kind of instrumental, I think, a little bit in getting that.
So he says, yes.
So he says, that's true. But yeah, but still, I'm glad somebody was on that. A little bit.
Yes. Especially because in years, I don't know this year, but in years past, that day has fallen on Canadian Thanksgiving.
Oh,
so they were all having dinner with their families and out of town or doing this or that, and they're like, oh, we have to find an Earth cache today. So I'm glad it worked out better for our fellow Canadians.
I like it when they do that, where they do, I think, remember last year they did the Halloween? I think it was over a weekend too. I like that because not every time can you do something well, except like Pi Day or something. That's a little bit. I think even Pi Day they did it on a weekend, if I recall.
Yes.
Once.
It helps
One time
people work different shifts and stuff, so
Yeah.
not everybody's off on the weekends.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Or if something happens one day, like the latest Hurricane Nate rolled through, down there in Mississippi, New Orleans type area, and you may not be able to get out one day, but you might be able to get out another. So, Geo Woodstock 2018. I'm wearing tonight in honor of 2018. I'm wearing 2014.
2014.
Well,
you mean
it's Geo Woodstock 16 in the year 2018. This is Geocache 14er in 2016. That makes sense?
That's just ridiculous.
Barely, but yes.
They're off, but that's okay. But yes, Geo Woodstock 16 surpassed 3,000 Willetons today.
So, of course, what's the big question?
Does that mean it's a Giga event?
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think? You think it'll go Giga?
I'm pretty certain it will. I mean, there's going to be some time until, they evaluate how many of those will attends are fake. I'm sure.
That would never happen.
But yeah, we'll see. But we're still 6 months out from the event, and they have until 4 months is the cutoff where they won't give it to you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So they still have 2 months to figure that out or make up any or get any more will attends if they need them or whatever. I'm sure it will. I'm very sure.
I would think that this far out and having that many already, I'm thinking really bodes well, even if there are some what they think are fake or the ones that are that may not be true. But the idea, the fact that I think you're quite a ways out. So, like you said, what if they're at 4,000 when you get to the next cutoff? Of course, now they might really start rolling in if people, if the frenzy takes place and people go, oh well, if it's a giga, I'll go, that kind of thing.
Well, that should be a determiner for some people because it'll be a first if it happens here. So
yeah,
it'll be the first one in the U.S. So I can tell you that for 100%, I will not be there. That's why I think it'll go giga. So
I'm so sorry. I know.
That's why I'm convinced it's going to go giga, just to spite me.
Mm-hmm.
Now
it would be cool if it did.
What time's the graduation? How fast can you get on a plane? How fast can you get on a plane? And how fast can you get there? And when do I need to pick you up?
It's not physically possible.
You could clone yourself.
I'll try.
Or just make like a cardboard cutout of you and put it at the graduation.
Pass it around, make it trackable. Yeah, that'll work.
I'm here, guys.
We make a fake Jesse. We take it with us to Geo Woodstock, and
there you go.
Let him ride the rides.
Or like one of those. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only.
Oh yeah.
We'll just have like a projection of you.
A virtual Jesse. I like that.
Yeah, virtual geocaches. Why can't you have a virtual Jesse? I don't understand.
That's right.
Oh well. I'm so sorry.
Oh, yeah, well. I'm sure y'all will get your gigas, and I will not. So
someday, Jesse.
Someday.
I think one thing we did talk about too is the fact that if this one goes giga, then the next one is more likely to be a giga. I think so.
So here's a question. This would be, I don't know if this is true. Is this the first recurring event that would be a giga? Are the gigas in Europe like one-offs, or are they like an ongoing thing?
That's good.
I would think that some of them have been recurring events.
I have no idea.
Because they've had several, haven't they?
They've had like 5 or 6. But I don't know if they're like related events, like year after year. I have no idea.
That's a good question for our chat room to work on. Because our chat room, man, they are
chat room. Look that up for us.
The chat room is like, they are like always gold every week. So they have some great stuff already in there.
They're on it. And most of them got their Earth Cache souvenirs this weekend too.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm sorry, we passed right past that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We jumped
I think
ahead.
most of us got them as well. At least 66% of us got them.
But it's celebrating Earth Caches we love, even if we all can't, if we can't make them every time. Still the idea. It's really going to make me really work on the one for this town because it's so far for us to get, because every time you find one, they get further and further out, and there hasn't been a new one anywhere near us for years. So
yeah,
I like a Jesse proxy is what Frank said in the thing.
Yeah, also flat Jesse. I saw that one.
Yeah, flat Jesse, like in Muncie.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna have to make one of those, even if I can't, even though I can't claim it for that, I'm still gonna make one anyway, just to see if it'll make it there.
All right, so somebody work on those gigas for us. So we'll talk about that. We'll come back to that. All right, got an email this week from Rosie, our friend down under. She's down in the Australia, New Zealand part of the world, and she sent us an email that says the following: "Hi team, so the geocaching junkie, our friend, who, by the way, Sarah was, she went to Seattle on her honeymoon and down to San Francisco and all sorts of cool places. So, that's dedication of
It's even funnier because her husband doesn't geocache.
Right. So she made it, at least, talked him into it. And then also they did, from their photos, they did a lot of cool stuff. So they didn't just, stuff that he was interested in, I think, as well. So Geocaching Junkie put out a post saying that Mrs. Tupper Seeker in Germany was hosting an event for lost travel bugs and Mary Hyde travel bugs to be resent out into the wild. I thought this was a great idea and contacted Mrs. Tupper Seeker. She was incredibly generous, kind enough to have brought she bought little hitchhiker trinkets, attached them to homemade printed and laminated proxy tags to release for whoever asked her to. So her idea was from that she did a Mary Hyde, because she had her Mary Hyde tribute travel bug that she wanted to do. So she did a tribute travel bug for in honor of Mrs. Tupperseeker, and so she's wants to go to her birthplace, which is in Hales Owen in the UK, and then travel to her home in Botany in Sydney, Australia. And so they had an event. The event number is GC7BBBJ, and her trackable is now picked up and hopefully is on the way. So what do you guys think about doing a tribute travel bug?
There's a cacher here about 2 hours south in Colorado Springs that does that like every 6 months or so. He'll do, I don't know what he calls it, like a re-release party or a proxy party or something.
Rescue party kind of thing where they rescue them. Okay.
For people that want to show up and make proxies for their own trackables that have gone missing, and they can re-release them from the party, and they'll do it, the event or whatever. I think it's a great idea. And the good thing is he helps them. He brings all the supplies and helps them make the proxies right there on the spot. So,
cool.
Yeah, it's really just for their own, not for other missing ones, but it's a neat concept, I think.
Pete from IB Geocaching has done this before.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Cool. One of our sponsors.
Indeed.
Yes.
And we got an answer from the chat room.
Oh, wow. Already. Go ahead. Go see.
None of the gigas have been recurring events. Like Woodstock recurs every year. Reoccurs.
Ooh, interesting.
So this would be a first.
How do they handle that then?
If he's serious, sick one. Is that how I said it?
Yep.
He says that he made his Mary Hyde trackable into a tattoo.
Really?
Yeah. If he's serious. I just asked him if he's serious about it, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So if we were counting up 4 people, including him and the rest of us, 3 of us have made the commitment.
Yeah.
Somebody has not made the commitment. Who would that be?
I got a marker here. Does that count?
You just gotta draw it on every time you go somewhere.
Yeah. Every morning I have to draw.
Oh, he said he's serious. He really did it. That's cool.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
I love it.
So what do you think they would do if you drew a tattoo on your leg, like with a Sharpie marker, and took a picture and said, "This is my tattoo with my trackable"?
Would they turn into
I know it's really bad. The tattoo artist wasn't that great, but
yeah. For those that don't know, if you do get, you guys can explain this better than me because you both have one.
Indeed.
But they do something special for travel if you do that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You get whatever trackable number you have. It could be just a regular dog tag. You can use that, or some other trackable geocoin, whatever, any trackable number. And then you just take a picture of your tattoo that shows the trackable number. You send it to geocaching.com, and they'll give you the special little trackable tattoo icon.
Person barcode thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a little person.
And then if you go to like an event where they have scavenger hunts, like we were at Texas Challenge, everybody was coming up to Jesse. Signing the signature scavenger hunts.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Word got out that Jesse had a trackable on him. And so they had a line. We had a line of people at our table, which was kind of nice because we got to, promote Geocache Talk. But
convenient.
It was. But they didn't want anything to do. I mean, they were there for just get Jesse's signatures. So that was funny. But, well, cool. Very cool. All right. Last item in our news is coins are still for sale. I show it right. I always show it upside down. I did. I show it right. Okay, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. So coin is for sale still. Sent one out this week actually. $17 US, $23 international. I've sent them to all sorts of countries now, which is great. Australia, New Zealand, I sent one to Norway recently, so they'll go anywhere in the world. So there you go. Buy you a coin. We got a few left. All right, new virtuals. First off, if you want to play along at home or play along wherever you are,
not in the car. Don't do
long
this
as you're not driving, right? Don't, yeah. Just listen if you're in the car. But if you're not, if you're at home, you can follow along at geocachetalk.com. There's a page all the way to the right called New Virtual Geocaches, so you can pull that one up. And there's a link in there to Project GC. And as of a couple minutes ago, there were 706 published as of this show. Now, does that surprise you guys, the number at this point?
No, so there's 4,000 total. I would assume that they filtered through with their algorithm people that are recently active. So they wouldn't have been sending them to a bunch of dead accounts.
Hope so.
So less than a quarter of them so far, but I would hope that means that people are taking their time, they're looking around, they're really searching for them because they're only going to get one.
Right.
But I know a bunch of people jumped to be the first new one in their area. But I think a lot of people are waiting. I know some people personally that have them and that have not done them yet because they're putting some serious effort into them. So,
Mhm.
so that's not really that surprising. I would think maybe 3,000 plus will end up coming out. I don't think all 4,000 will come out. I think some people will not follow through with it because they didn't solicit them. They were just awarded them. Right. So not everybody wants to do that.
I'm going to pull it up for a moment. Go ahead. Keep going, Jesse.
706 is a lot to have come out since when did they first release them?
Like a month and a half ago, maybe?
Yeah, that's a lot in that time, in my opinion. So I think we'll see a bunch more coming up, especially now in the winter months. People have probably been scouting. They're going to have more time. Instead of just caching all the time, they're going to be out. That's when a lot of people start hitting puzzles and working things out that are indoors. So
unless you live in the southern hemisphere, then you're just getting going.
That's just craziness, though. So
they're back. Everything's backward down there.
Backwards. What are you thinking now?
It's about to be summer down there. I tell you, it's awesome.
I know we're about to get our first snow of the year.
What?
Yeah, tonight. Wow. 4 to 7 inches. So
okay, I'm glad I don't live in Colorado.
No,
you're not. It's awesome.
How does that happen? You're south of me. That's crazy.
It's just a weird cold front. Like it's going to be back up, and it's just some weird freak storm. It's going to be back up in the 70s the rest of the week. But there's just weird cold front, and it's just going to like dump and then keep going, and we'll be back to normal for a little while before the snow really starts coming. It's just a freak storm.
That's crazy.
But it's still kind of funny.
So here's Europe. We'll start talking. We'll talk a little bit about Europe for a moment. There's a lot.
Yeah.
As far as because they don't have the geographic. Many places. The countries are smaller, but I mean, look at all the virtuals. I'm showing it on the screen for those that are listening to the audio. We're showing. There's 2 in Ireland. That's cool.
Where would you say the biggest concentration is? Germany?
Well,
not like if you look at France, there's not very many.
No, you're right. That's true. You're right. There's a few, but yeah, it looks like it's a lot of Belgium, Netherlands, Germany, Czech Republic. Now this is interesting. There are not as many as Germany, but what I do want to mention,
there's a lot though.
There are, and one thing that I wanted to mention here at the beginning of our talk about this is on favorite points. So look at this is interesting. Favorite points. These are the current favorite points as of the show. The most favorited cache virtual has 190 favorite points. It's in Czech. Notice how many.
At least 190 people have found it since a month and a half ago is the longest time. That is just crazy to me.
That is a lot. In the chat room, Tricassius said that he knows of 2 that were given to cachers that have not cached in a year or 2.
Oh, save that. we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that point in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, hang on to that. Thanks,
That's
Trek
totally
Hunters.
opposite of what I said. So forget that part I said.
That is
okay.
Okay. I'll wait. I'll hold my tongue.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hold on.
Hold that idea. We'll get to that. We're talking about favorite points for a moment. So, all right, this is the most favorited. And
How do you say that, Gary?
I don't know. It's a I did some. It's a national haul, and it is now been. It's a very famous location in this town, which I'm not going to try to tell you what the town is, but it's got a restaurant and it's got other. There's a picture of it right there, and then let me show you a couple photos from it. But the reason I kind of want to talk about this one, other than the fact that it's got 190 favorite points.
How many logs does it have? I'd like to see that.
It has been found
2,000 times.
613 times.
Oh my god!
One person DNF'd it. So
like a mega or a giga nearby it when it was released, probably. I think somebody in the chat room mentioned that there might have been a giga.
There was a giga in the Czech Republic this year.
Oh, perfect timing. There's where you go to. It's a fountain. I shouldn't give away all
that blows my mind.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
And when was it published? What was the date?
Published date was 8/24, so August 24th. So not even 2 months ago.
Nope.
That is insane.
Look at the gallery, 2,539 items in the gallery. That's cool. All right.
Well, there's excitement because it's new and everything else. Yeah.
Exactly. So let me ask you guys, and this is one of the big questions I had that I really wanted to ask you two about, which was, is this something? Obviously, we don't know enough about the place, but let's just say, for terms of our discussion, is this the kind of place that you guys want to have a virtual cache put at?
It depends.
Okay.
If they were exclusively there, probably not. But I do like, having them around historical places, bringing in national monuments, that kind of thing. I like that because you probably cannot put a physical cache there, and it is a point of interest. So I kind of like that.
Okay. Sydney?
It's definitely pretty cool. If I was visiting the Czech Republic, I probably would not have thought to go there. Mm-hmm. So I think that's an interesting point. Maybe the people that do live there are like, yeah, whatever. I drive by this place every day on my way to work. But I mean, it's great that the virtuals are all totally different. Like they're not all at churches or historical signs or whatever. They could be whatever, anything. So that's, kind of, you get a little bit of this and a little bit of that,
Mm-hmm. This is a 1.5 1. Let me give you another one. We'll talk about some other ones too here in a moment. Let me ask you guys about this one. This was interesting. This is one of the early on ones that was put out same day, actually, August 24th. It only has 8 favorite points, but this one to me is is fascinating for a couple different reasons. Let's see how many times it's been found. And I'll explain to you why. 49 times. What's that?
Not 2,600 times.
No, 49. Oh, this person logged photo uploaded using Cachely. Thank you, Cachely. You were the greatest. Like that. See what I did there?
I like it.
Okay. This one is completely different than many of them. And like we were talking about, I'll ask you guys in a second. Good photo there. To do this one, you have to find and message the CO the answer to 15 out of 20 questions. Now, the questions are not all at one location. In fact, if you go down here and look at the waypoints, here are all the waypoints. And they're not all in the same location. Mm-hmm. They really are. See, here's the picture of where all the waypoints are. So not crazy. We're not talking, we're talking a couple 2 or 3 square blocks of for this thing. Give you parking and all that. What do you guys think of this kind of idea?
That's a lot of stops for a 1.5 1. Is that what you said it was?
This one happens to be a 1.5 1.5, but
okay. So I guess if you're looking at difficulty and terrain, how much area does it actually cover? Do you have any idea? Did you look at that?
I
mean, there could be 15 stops and it only cover like a quarter mile.
Well, let's see. Let me pull up a big.
Still a lot of questions you have to answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the difficulty should be higher.
Yeah.
But they may be like, I don't know what the questions are. They may be super easy questions.
Maybe. But there's still 15 of them.
Yeah. I mean, they're covering, it looks like they're a couple thousand feet, this direction, and 1,000 feet. So, not too bad. I mean, I don't think it's too bad.
So you may cover a couple miles in this?
Nah. Not even. I don't think it's that much.
I guess it depends which route you take.
Yeah.
It looks like it's flat in the middle of the city, so that's probably, your terrain's probably good to go then.
Terrain's good. I think the difficulty, in my opinion, should be a little higher just because of the time. But I don't think it's too bad. The questions look like they take you to a lot of cool places, and you got to find out a lot of cool info here in Utah, in Salt Lake. I think it's downtown Salt Lake City. Yeah. So another idea for a virtual is this one. Now,
so here you go. I had to pull it up since we're talking about it. Yep. Would you say it's easy to find or solve within 10 to 15 minutes?
It's going to take you
relatively easy to find or solve within 30 minutes.
It might take you 30 minutes if you walked briskly.
So that would be a 2 difficulty.
Okay.
It's relatively easy to solve or find within 30 minutes.
I would bump it up to a 2.5 probably.
I guess it depends on the questions, right? If they're hard to find, but if it's just like, what's the number on this building, and you walk up and find it, that's
some of them. Look, this one is what is your elevation? So that takes a moment to find. I mean, not crazy difficult, but still, you got to take a moment to figure out what your elevation is.
So a mild challenge, but relatively easy for an experienced geocacher.
Is that a 3?
That's a 2.5.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
I'd say somewhere, yeah maybe. Depending on how long it takes, right?
Now,
but 1.5 is easy to find or solve within 10 to 15 minutes.
It's
walking it, it's hard to know. Yeah, if there's 15 spots, it's going to be kind of hard. Or 14 or 15.
1 minute per spot.
Yeah, run.
Run. This isn't a where I go with a time limit on it, but
that's right.
That would be hilarious.
But it could have been, because you can do that.
That'd be great.
Does this affect, when you look at this, and this is just an example, but does this affect whether you do this virtual if you were in Salt Lake City? The fact that it's a difficulty 1.5?
No.
Or, okay, because the fact that it's a new virtual still has enough appeal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's a virtual in general.
Right. Well, yeah, it's a new one.
Plus, I mean, it has a lot of stops, so I feel like this person has taken all this time to figure out where these locations are that they want you to visit, and I feel like that would be a good tour of downtown Salt Lake City.
Yeah. Combine both. Muggles would like to enjoy that. Go ahead.
Think of all the other geocaches you could find while you're working on this one.
There you go. See, yeah, we were just was showing that too. Let me show you. There's a lot probably around that area. So, yeah. So this is the new virtuals right here. So there's a couple traditionals. There's a multi right there. There's start of a puzzle there probably. There's some more virtuals in the area. I don't see where it goes.
There's a couple webcams too.
Oh, webcams. Yep. Cool. So yeah. Okay. Very good. All right. Enough on that one. Let's go to the next one. All right. Which one are we talking about next? We're going to talk about this guy.
Yep.
And Jesse's going to love talking about this one.
Absolutely. So I was kind of suspicious when I saw this one, the 5.5 in Scotland. I did pull it up, just because people tend to overrate ones based on their area. However, I looked at the surrounding geocaches to check the terrains on those, and the first three outside of that cache, first four outside of that cache, are all 5 terrain caches.
Nice.
Okay.
So that, in my not that I've been there, but in my opinion, that lends some legitimacy to that virtual being a 5 terrain.
Yes, and one we're talking about is called Bien Nibhius. Boy, I'm going to really ruin that name.
Gary, didn't you go to Scotland? You should know some.
I did.
How to
I should know
pronounce
this
stuff.
I know it's GC7, B as in boy, 7, 6, V as in Victor. So Geo Paul's been up to the top of this thing. This is the summit of Ben Nevis, which is 4,000.
Well, that's how you say it, Gary.
Ben Nevis.
Ben Nevis.
There you go. There you go. Perfect. Thank you.
Of course.
So there's your elevation, Jesse. 4,411 feet. So
yeah, I can't get down that low in my town.
I don't. You have to dig down.
I have to dig. Hey, we can dig now, so maybe I should bury one.
That's right. You change the elevation.
A few hundred feet down. Yeah.
But still, in this particular location.
Oh yeah, it's all about change, right? It's all about the change in elevation, not current elevation.
Right.
Yep.
But it looks like a really cool cache, though. They put some time into it. There's a lot to it.
And you got to answer quite a few questions. We're getting down into. We're showing on the screen the information here. Logging.
It looks like it's a trig point, which is their version of a benchmark associated as well. So that's
cool.
That's pretty neat. Yeah. I would definitely go to it if I was there.
Oh,
Make
yeah.
a trip.
Me too, for sure. There's the proof you have to have about things. So let's see. This one's been found 15 times.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot
Very
for a
cool.
5.5.
I know.
It's only got 5 favorite points, though. What's up with that?
Yeah, what is up with that? All right. Well, that's a good question. Do you think that these new virtuals are going to be not get the love that maybe they should get, or are they going to get too much love for what
I'll
they
give
are?
the unpopular opinion. Sydney won't agree with me. Well, I'll let Sydney go first.
Okay.
She'll give the nicer answer.
So I've done one of these. So that's my only experience with them so far. I gave it a favorite point because I thought it was a really nifty, cool location in my hometown, actually. So that was kind of cool. But that was why I gave it a favorite point. But, some people are probably going to give it favorite points just because it's a virtual cache.
Yeah, it's new.
And it's
fresh.
new, and it's exciting, and it's...
Yeah. Yes, everybody gets to use their favorite points, which is a whole nother show coming up, how they want.
Right.
But I wouldn't give, but I haven't got to do one yet either, right? So I wouldn't give one a favorite point unless it deserved it in and of itself, unless that cache itself deserved it, not just because it's neat and new, right?
Yeah.
So you go and you hike up and you do this one like the one we're just looking at.
Yep.
Based on what's on there, I'm probably guessing that's favorite point worthy, right? But some of these at a museum may not be, but it may. It could be really awesome. But I wouldn't automatically. I think they should only get it if they earn it, just like every other cache. But everybody can use theirs how they want, right? So
that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, that's interesting because the one I've done is the one that Joshua, the geocaching vlogger, did today. Well, he
posted the video.
He posted the video today, of the practice facility for the Dallas Cowboys. And yes, I gave it a favorite point. Probably, Jesse, I try to be a purist when it comes to favorite points, but
a purist.
It's a purist. Well, it's a new virtual. It's in my, it's near here. I was able to find this one because it's close, close to the town. I was with Joshua having a great time, and you know, I don't know. I don't know what to say other than I think that people are going to maybe be like me and just kind of go, oh, favorite point. Sure. I got like another 7 or 8 of them. I'll just go ahead and give it to her, whatever.
Yeah. But I've also given favorite points on some that the caches were just okay, but the experience of getting to the cache or the people I was with or the day made it that much more fun, right? So, you know, for me, favorite points, and not trying to get off the topic of virtuals, but favorite points are what I enjoyed that experience, no matter what contributed to that for that day.
Right.
So.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Okay. Okay. So the next one is GC7 B as in boy. Most of them are all start the same way because obviously they came out same time. So GC7B 78T, top of the mount. This one is in Japan.
And another cool one.
Because it's 5-5.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Has no favorite points. 0. Not 1.
But it's only been found once. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it was just by a member, so it was not by a premium member.
There you go. They can't give one. There you go. How weird is that? It only has been found one time. Well, maybe not.
Interesting.
So we'll have to watch that one and see if it gets more later.
Yeah, this one. Does it give? It gives some interesting information. The mountain has over 200,000 climbers every year. This is a long, difficult climb to the summit of Mount Fuji San. A climb that is very honorable if you can reach the top. Cachers climb to the top and log the find.
How tall is Mount Fuji?
This is not. This is yeah. This is Mount Fuji. Let's look that up. All right, somebody look that up for us and post that in the chat room.
Yeah.
Hike takes between 4 to 6 hours to the top and about 3 to 4 down.
Wow. That's pretty serious.
Japan's highest place.
It's a pretty yeah. I'm not going to talk down about it because I'm excited about 5.5s.
Exactly.
But if we were going to be purists, I don't see any mention of specialized equipment.
Right. 4.5, 5 maybe. Or I'm sorry, 5, 4.5. No.
So here's a question: is it a requirement that you have to have specialized equipment for it to be a 5, or is it if you have to use specialized equipment, it's automatically a 5?
Well, since you ask, a terrain 5 requires specialized equipment such as scuba gear, a boat, rock climbing gear, or similar.
Ladder.
No. Tension ladder, maybe? Not step stool.
It's still.
Oh, we're getting off topic again. We got to get back to virtuals before our whole chat room leaves.
Back to virtuals. There's some mountain huts in the 5th station. There's 9 point. Let's see. You can have a stamp. Oh, they'll stamp your hiking stick for 200 to 300 yen at each mountain hut.
Great.
Cool. Very cool. Okay, so you go from something where I don't want to put down the one with the fountain at the back of the restaurant one, but you can go from that different all the way up to something like this. So
yeah, and that's exactly how it should be. It should be the 1-1s all the way up to the 5.5s. And we're joking around a little bit about whether it's a 5.5 or not, but I mean that's just joking. I'm very happy to see some new, different ones come on the scene. So that's what it should be. If they all just came out and they were all the same, it wouldn't be exciting at all.
Mm-hmm.
So, but y'all two have done them, right?
One.
Y'all each done one. So what do you think? What do you think about the experience? Were you like super excited because it was brand new?
I was. But for me, it was okay. So the one I did was at Elizabeth Cady Stanton's house. women's rights and all
Mhm.
that. Because I am from a town called Seneca Falls, which is the birthplace of women's rights. It's where the Women's Rights Convention was held, and Elizabeth Cady Stanton lived, and all this stuff. So that was kind of cool because it was in my hometown, and it was highlighting this thing that everybody kind of knows about. Well, at least most people, like it's in history textbooks and stuff.
Right.
So it was kind of cool to me just to have one so close in my teeny tiny town.
Very historically significant. So
Mhm.
that carries a lot of weight to me as well.
Mhm.
Versus the one I did, which is the practice facility for the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know. I mean,
So
I'm unsure. I really am. I mean, I enjoyed the time, and I enjoyed searching for the answer to the question that you had to answer, and all that.
before you get down on that cache, is that even close to the worst cache you've ever found?
Oh no, no,
Okay.
not even close.
Yeah. So yes, it may not be as special as going to Australia or something and finding some rare outback cache, but it's it's still more fun than you'd
Well,
put it as more fun than just finding a pill bottle. So at least
right.
that's kind of cool.
Well, let me show you the one that is the highest favorited point so far in the U.S. And it is GC7B as in boy 6Cat5. It is the world's largest frying pan.
Yeah, I want to go there.
33 favorite points.
See, that's the exact kind of thing I would pull off the interstate to go see.
I love that stuff.
I do too.
Why is it that these? I mean, I understand the novelty of the largest Paul Bunyan or the largest fish or the largest ball of twine. Right.
Yes.
I went there.
All those crazy places that Joshua tends to do in some of his vlog, but this one, I love the name of the who did this one. The cache is by Half Canadian and Scooter the Wonder Dog.
I like it.
You like it? I like it too.
That's funny. That's a good place for virtual though.
Is it?
Yes, absolutely.
Is it? Okay, good. Okay.
I love that kind of stuff. Now, again, it's a little bit different stuff.
Who doesn't want to see a really big frying pan?
I mean, who doesn't want to stand in front of the frying pan and get a photo?
Exactly.
I would absolutely still be standing there. I mean, take my picture, please.
Take my picture. Oh my goodness! There's another person really excited about the world's largest frying pan.
That is awesome.
I mean, you don't get to see that very often.
No, of course not. So it's the most favorited. 33 found though 149 times, but that's a whole other show. So we're not going to get into that. So
yeah.
Oh well. All right. Had to show that one. That was crazy.
That was awesome.
All right. All right, Sydney, you got something you want to mention?
Yeah. So now we're getting into the serious stuff. Do you think that the virtual reward should have been given to only premium members? As hey, thanks for paying $30 every year and supporting, geocaching monetarily, and here's a present for you.
I'll go with no, because there's some really good cachers that aren't premium, and if they're choosing based on trying to bring out high quality for this first round, I don't know that you'd want to limit it to premium members. That's as a cacher. As a business, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You're right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that 100% of the lackeys got one, right?
And reviewers got some too, right?
Yes.
Probably 100% of them got
probably.
It?
Probably.
So they're probably waiting as well.
Well,
so that's another segment that's waiting.
But are reviewers automatically good hiders?
No, but they deserve to be rewarded.
For well, they do. I know they work.
They need a reward of some type. So
I agree.
Whether they're good hiders or not, they should at least be knowledgeable. And
they are.
I have no interest ever fulfilling that job.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, pass. Hard pass for me on that one.
Very thankless. You know, I always, every time I publish a cache, 100% of the time I thank them for their work, because it is grueling to go through all those caches and make sure they're correct and publish them and all that good stuff. So,
and here's another tip. We have had a reviewer on this very show.
That's right.
Yes, we have.
Yes, it's actually my reviewer.
That's right. I was thinking, who did we have? No, yeah, we did. I had to think about it a minute.
Why we had him on the show, but he was
because we were talking about the
right.
Mega. So, but yeah, no, that's true. We had some lackeys on too, and we talked about the Geo Tours too. So, I mean,
did all lackeys get one? I didn't hear that.
That I'm not sure, but
that would be kind of. I don't know how I feel about that, if that's true. Like you work for us, but we're gonna give you a virtual. Like we're paying you to work here, but
right.
They're still cashers, though.
Yeah, I guess, but they're privileged.
Now you said something, Jesse, is interesting. You said this first round. Do we know there'll be a second round or a third round, or?
We don't know that, and in fact, they said that there's no plans to do another round. But
at this time,
but I think, you know, if it goes really well and people are excited, they may do another round. That's not actually what I'd prefer them to do, but they may do it. So
I feel like people would not be as excited if they did it again.
That's right. How about bringing out a round of another type of cache, another type of grandfather cache?
Ooh.
So,
yes,
that would get some excitement going.
All right, let me ask you this one. One of the acceptable logging tasks is to take a photo at the location, but it cannot be required to have your face in the photo. Thoughts?
So here's what I mean. I've heard this all over. Earth caches, you cannot require anyone to take a photo. Absolutely cannot require it. It can be optional. So people have been saying, well, why is it allowed for virtuals to require a photo? I don't really care. You can make me take a photo. But the stipulation obviously is that you don't have to have your face in it, because that's like privacy concerns if you don't want to post your photo of your face on the internet, which is fine.
Right.
Like I said, I personally don't care. It's so easy to take a photo these days. Like you just pull out your phone or your friend's phone or whoever's phone, or even just a digital camera. It's not like you have to print out the picture and then scan it and post it on the internet.
Mail it in. Mail it to somebody. Go ahead.
Yeah, you have to mail your photo to the cache owner.
Right. Jesse?
I don't really care.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I mean, I've never really understood I understand the privacy issue. I mean, I'm former law enforcement. I understand all that, but you know, of course, I'm also on a podcast, so I'm not super interested. You know, super worried about putting my face on the internet. They're trying it out. I think it's all experimental. I think if they moved forward, they would have to reconcile the rules against each other. But for right now, I think it's all experimental, just like they did with the Ape cache or whatever. You know, that's experimental. They unarchived it after like however many years. So I'm okay with it, unless they kept it that way, you know, and there was two caches that were different like that. That would be kind of odd.
Well, Earth caches and virtuals are different, Jesse.
They are different.
I realize that. Requirements and rules should requirements and rules, general basic rules, should probably be similar. But, you know, if they kept it that way and said all of them from now on only for this type, that's just kind of what it is.
Speaking of rules, should virtual rewards, these virtual caches, be allowed to be adopted? Because I think the rules currently say that they cannot be.
They cannot be because they're a grandfathered cache type. Which I wish those would be allowed to be adopted as well.
Right, exactly.
So my answer would be yes, they should be allowed to be adopted.
Right. Should they? Of course they should be. Why not?
And why do you think they did that?
Because here's what I think. They're giving them to specific people because they hide great caches. You could adopt your cache to some Joe Schmo on the street, and they wanted to give it to, deserving people.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right. That and if they would be sold.
They'd be sold.
They would absolutely be sold. They'd be on
eBay.
Find one on eBay. You would?
I didn't think about that.
Which is I'm surprised what they didn't do, or maybe they will in the future, right? Who knows?
It goes to the highest bidder.
That's whole other...
they sell trackable numbers, right? We just saw that on the sell other things, so why not sell the rights to hide another virtual?
Yeah, we just saw that before the show. We were looking at, there's a new link on, I think it's fairly new, on geocaching.com website where you could buy them before, but now there's a link for it.
Right.
So $1.50 a piece, and you can buy up to 7,500 of them. So get out there.
But you have to buy them at least 50 at a time.
Yeah, you have to buy a minimum of 50.
Yeah.
So here's a question. Mm-hmm. This was a weird situation, so I don't know how this would work. The virtuals were basically credited to people's accounts as an unpublished cache. So it's not like the person went in, started the cache page, whatever. So if, say, I didn't want my virtual and I wanted to give it to Jesse,
mm-hmm.
I would have to publish it first, right? And then he could adopt it. If I couldn't transfer him a blank page.
Right. You couldn't in this instance. No. If they were adoptable.
Or I guess any cache would have to be published first anyways. This was like a weird, strange thing.
Yeah.
So I would have to go through the work and do it anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so what would be the point of that? So I guess, I don't know.
Another possibility is that, for what I understand, and we were talking, you mentioned earlier about how some people had like 5 finds, or 5 hides that were really cool, whatever, they got them. Well, in theory, they could give up that account, and you could just sort of take that account. If the person gave you the password to it, all of a sudden it's now theirs. They log in, they could go log it. Although it's not under their account anymore, it's under somebody else's account.
Yeah, you don't want to consolidate accounts, definitely.
Well, could you consolidate maybe after that?
Well, these you can't. Unless they were adoptable, you couldn't. So these and all grandfather cache types are still unadoptable, so you could not consolidate accounts owning more than once. But unless they change it, right? This is brand new. They just brought virtuals back, so they may change that after this first round is out, and they may reactivate the cache type again. Who knows? I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to. And honestly, I hope they don't. In this way, right? Don't just open them wide up. See how this test works, and then have some kind of, like we were talking about with the history caches, have some kind of checks and balances. Only put the quality ones out. That'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I agree.
If they just flooded again and say there's 5 million allowed and they could be anywhere, they would be worthless.
Hello, McDonald's.
That's right. McDonald's, third seat from the right.
Like, so imagine this. You know how there's really great traditional caches and there's really not so great traditional caches. Like, a lamppost cache. So that would be,
those are cool.
Okay, some of them are cool, but
many of them
aren't so cool.
Yeah, I know.
So imagine that would happen with virtual caches. If every newbie cacher could hide a virtual cache, you would start getting junky ones, and that's not fun anymore.
And they wouldn't be rare either. So yeah, absolutely.
Okay, you can place a vacation virtual to a place you have visited in the last 2 months. I guess that's one of you guys grabbed that from the rules. I take it.
It's just like an earth cache, though. You can do the same thing with earth caches.
Yeah.
Right, and then you have to visit that earth cache periodically or something. There's some kind of rule, right, about you're supposed to visit it?
I don't think so.
No, you don't have to physically visit the place, but you have to just make sure, I guess, that you still have permission, like stay in contact with, the land manager, whoever.
Right.
And just update the cache page if anything changes.
Okay.
Which that's nothing really a break from the norm anyway.
And since there's not a physical container to maintain, then you're fine.
Right.
Yeah. Just access to it, right?
Right.
Just access to the area would be the only thing that's important to know about. So what's your final guess? Do you think there'll be more of these in this format?
No.
No, I don't think so.
Well, there's not much debate there because I don't either.
Should there be more? Maybe
in this format, yeah.
Maybe not.
I like them. I think they're very neat and a very great idea. I'm super happy about it. But if they just opened it right now without controlling it, it would water it down. It wouldn't make it as a special. So,
and I don't even think I wish there was more.
I don't either.
Like 4,000 is quite a lot compared to what we had. And
well, you look at the map now, 706, and it was like Europe's flooded with them. I mean, now we're looking at from way above. There's not. But think about that map with 4,000 of them on there.
That's and I think that adds a lot, because it's worldwide. So it's not like 4,000 just in the U.S. It's everywhere. Right. But it'll be a good sampling across, the world for everybody to try out and see how it is. Do you think they should extend it to any other grandfathered cache types?
No.
Absolutely.
Oh, now we got something different. So, Sydney, why not?
If you're talking about webcams, which I think you are.
It could be other stuff.
Do people even do webcams anymore? Are webcams still a thing? Like, if they were to send out,
there's
here you
tons
go.
of webcams out there now.
Okay,
yeah.
that's sure. I don't know any. I don't know, whatever. But if they said, here's your special webcam reward, you would have. I feel like that's so much more effort to put on someone that they didn't ask for. Like, either you have to go and find a place that has a webcam and get permission and do all this, or you have to set up a webcam somewhere yourself. Like, that's asking a lot of people, I feel like.
Well, you're supposed to ask people for permission anyway with every cache.
Right.
So,
but
it could be more work than normal.
If you did this, though, in the same way, where you only give them to people who have shown in the past that they are good hiders. Because that was the question, whether we put these out the same way. We don't open it up to the public. We just give them to...
No, and I don't think that's a good idea at all.
Right.
So maybe it's back to that premium, non-premium, caching history. I think it would be neat to have some new webcams in a limited amount. Right? Not, 1 million new ones. Then they're worthless. They're no good. They're not any more rare than anything else. But it'd be exciting to have something new like that. Also, again, more things new.
I would agree. It would be exciting. I just don't think it would work out very well.
Be easier than publishing an Earth cache. Those are kind of hard.
It's true.
Coming from somebody who's tried and cannot get one to publish.
Yeah, you have more Earth caches than me, Jesse. So
they're still hard. They're way harder than any other cache type to publish.
That's because
more work.
They're important.
Because they're boring and you fall asleep trying to get them published.
All right. All right. Enough out of both of y'all. Move y'all to separate corners here.
That's right. We're pretty far apart right now.
Well, that's right. You guys back out. Oh, Colorado, New York. Never mind. But there's other types. What about
moving caches?
Moving caches, right? There's some other options that you could possibly do, but either way, they would have to be very limited.
Absolutely.
And
very selective.
Very selective. But we all really applaud that geocaching.com has done something like this.
Absolutely.
I was totally not expecting it.
No, I didn't know they were going to bring history caches out that fast. I thought we were going to have to lobby for a lot longer.
Yeah, really. Our idea came out pretty quick. We weren't quite sure that we would get it that quick, but apparently we did. So,
but you know what? It's we've been asking for something new, and there is new things coming out. They're trying new things, and I think if this is a sign of what they're going to be doing, I'm pretty happy with it. It's not just like random new junk. They actually thought this one through. They're like, this is going to be high quality. They're even talking about quality over quantity, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, never really talked about that really before. Well, kind of. Their how-to videos do talk about that it needs to be well hidden, well created. But yeah, I agree with you. There's some things that are in the horizon down the road that I see that they could do that it looks like they're interested in doing. Which again, we all three of us are, very much applaud the fact that, and there's more. I mean, I'd like to see more because I love it. So I hope for more, that we don't stop here. And I don't want 5 years from now us going, well, I remember 5 years ago when they did virtual caches. Well, that was great. Gee, I wish we could do something else kind of like that.
I really don't have the feeling that this is the last thing they're going to try for now.
Yep.
There's been a lot of new things.
Challenges.
Lately.
Challenges, yes. We need to get challenges.
Or if we're just throwing out suggestions, maybe an update to where I go. Just throw that one out there.
Saying,
a little bit. That would be sweet. So
yes. Yep. All right. So final thoughts. We wrap up tonight.
Sydney, you want to go first?
Yeah. I'm excited. I think it's great that they're doing new stuff. Like I said, I've only done one so far, but I will be in Texas next month.
Woo-hoo!
So I'm gonna find the star.
There's two now. There's one downtown.
3. There's 2 in Dallas.
Well, yeah, 2 in Dallas. Well, I meant where you're going to be.
Yeah. So I don't think I'm actually going to get to go downtown Dallas.
But you at least do the one by Frisco, yeah.
I am. I'm gonna do the Cowboys one, even though I'm not a Cowboys fan. Cowboys suck, boo, whatever,
Ooh,
yeah.
Ooh, fighting words. Look at that.
No, it's okay. But even Joshua, who did it, who's not a Cowboys fan, thought that it was cool because of the way they built. Hopefully you watched the video, but they put a field out front for people to run out on, and there's a big board. I mean, they did a good job, regardless of your NFL.
Yeah, I guess it's pretty cool. I mean, the Bills don't have anything like that, so
there you go. Not yet, right?
Yeah, you never know.
So I would say the same thing. I'm really happy with them bringing something new back. Right. I know that sounds kind of funny to bring something new back, but they did bring something back that everybody was asking for, but they did it in a way that's going to promote quality. Whatever their secret algorithm is, they went to some effort, and they're keeping it to themselves, which makes me think they may be using that algorithm again to bring out something new, to get excitement back in the game, and something that people really wanted to see. So kudos for that, and I'm happy, and I'm still waiting to get out and be able to find one myself. So I think we'll be revisiting this topic in a few months just to see how it's still going, see what the numbers are up to, and see what everybody's still thinking about them.
Yep. And Jesse, you might want to tell people why you're chomping at the bit for one of the virtuals. Why that you're going to want the one that you're trying to get to that's never been found. That's 5.5, right?
Oh no, that's an Earth cache.
That's Earth cache. Oh, okay.
There's an Earth cache nearby. I say nearby. It's like a couple hours away, but the closest Earth cache is an hour and a half away. So there's a brand new 5.5 Earth cache that's out, 13-mile hike in the mountains, and still not found yet. And I'm dying to go get it, but now we're having crazy weather, so
right.
It could go all winter without being found.
Oh man, I can't believe
it's winter up in the mountains. You can't get into a lot of places really easily. So there's not even any roads to get into some of the places when winter comes. So theoretically, it's possible that nobody could get to it, and it could go like 6 or 7 months. Oh, that'll drive me nuts.
Oh, I bet. Just hang on your your app just sitting there with
That's
nothing.
right. With a little Cashly FTF
That's right. The
icon
little
on
red
it
dot.
every time I see it.
And
Oh,
real
Get
quick
out your
update.
snowshoes, Jesse.
Yeah, there you go.
that's pretty common around here, so that may have to happen actually.
And real fast update on the two I put out recently. They were both FTF. Somebody did find one of them, so it took a group, but they did find one of mine. But one's still out there. It hasn't been found. It's been out there now about a month or so, and
Nice.
I actually checked on it a couple times. Just make sure. And everybody, they're like, this thing's got to be gone. I went out. Nope, still there. Sorry, go find it. So those are fun. As a cache owner, you gotta love those. Those are great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think we'll talk about more about these over time. We'll bring them up if we don't do a full show. We'll probably bring them up in different venue discussions that we have about virtual. So, coming up on the show next week, Ron Smith, aka Johnny Cash, is going to be on the show. Talk about vlogging and playing guitar and being Johnny Cash and all the good stuff that comes with that. That'll be fun. In 2 weeks, Joshua White is going to be on the show. Joshua is the new owner of X Tags. And so we're going to talk a little bit about X Tags, show you some X Tags. He's going to show us lots of cool ones. I got some behind me that we're going to discuss. A lot of different things about him. Do you like X Tags? Do you like path tags? What do you like about them? There'll be kind of interesting discussion. And then in 3 weeks, Matt Mercurio is going to be on the show. He is a treasure actor as well. But Matt has been recently in a lot of TV shows. He's been in MacGyver, and he was in the recent Tom Cruise movie, American
Made.
And so Matt was in there. He actually has if you watch the movie carefully, at the end, his little byline comes, or his credit comes through being in that movie. So looking forward to having Matt on the show and talking about treasure. And we figured let's get these people on and get them while we can, because you never know, they might end up becoming huge stars, and they might forget about little geocache talk. So looking forward to them being on.
Gary, did we ever tell people that after the show, Shanice went out and actually found a geocache?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, go ahead and talk about that. That was cool.
After the show, we were kind of,
we do a little post show. Yeah, we do a little
post show with Shanice, and we were saying, I looked up the map and I'm like, there's a geocache right near you right now. You should go find it. And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm totally gonna go get it right after here. And so I was in bed, but the next morning I saw she had posted, she did a Periscope, I think. She found a geocache. She posted on Twitter. She logged the find. It was great. She was so excited about it, and I'm dying to know if she's found any more since then.
Well, I did talk to her, and I sent her the information on the stash because she lives out in Portland. So I said, you need to go to the very first one. She's like, this is like the first, and it's still. I go, well, it's not there, but there's a plaque there. She's like, there's a plaque in the ground. Seriously, I said, yes, there's a plaque in the ground, and there's a cache near there that you can find. So she was really fired up. So that's her next assignment, is to find the stash. But and then Ansley sent her a reply on Twitter. So you think about this. This is pretty funny because you have, like you said, Shanice Jordan, who played Sierra, who hated geocaching in the show, and you have Ansley, who was the person who takes her geocaching in the movie, thanking her, telling her that's awesome that she did this and all this stuff. So, yeah, and Geocache Talk got her. Well, Sydney mostly did that. So thank you, Sydney, for.
We were like, you gotta go find one now. It's right down the street.
Right,
she did.
You did. So that was awesome.
That was fun.
Yes. All right. Well, folks, we hope you enjoyed the show tonight. Please email us your comments at geocachetalk@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Geocache Talk. I am at Gary Slinkard. Jesse is at Memphis_Mafia. Sydney is at Shermanator GC, and our Facebook page is facebook.com/Geocache Talk. Show can be found on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Google Play, as well as the Geocache Talk website. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button below so that you can see and hear the show on a weekly basis. Until next week, don't just talk about geocaching. Go find one of the new virtuals and then go geocaching. Good night, everybody.
Bye.